or it can be a destination operand, or it can be both. Okay, we will see when we will be talking about the different instruction there. I will ask you to identify which operand is there in this particular instruction. And the important thing about the opcode is that this opcode is the symbol representation of the operation. For example, if I have to do some addition, then the symbol representation is ADD. So opcode is ADD. But this ADD is a language which is known to the user. But this language has to be converted into machine language. So every opcode is having its corresponding machine language, or the binary format. The binary format. Okay. So this binary format will be stored in the ROM. In the ROM, because you know the ROM is the memory in which you will be having the instructions, and these instructions are stored in the opcodes, operational codes. Okay. So operational codes, जब हम बात करते हैं, तो these operational codes are nothing but your ones and zeros, which are the machine language, and the mnemonics. Mnemonics is the symbol representation of that particular opcode. For example, if I'm saying ADD becomes the mnemonics. Okay, mnemonics. So ADD, SUB, what move. So all these instructions are called as mnemonics. Mnemonics, MNEUNOMIC, mnemonics. Okay, M is silent, capital M is silent in this. So MNEUNOMIC, mnemonics. So these mnemonics will have its corresponding opcode, which is the machine language, which is in the form of ones and zeros, which are stored in the ROM. Now, with this understanding, I have given you. Let me show you on the this. I will present the screen. My screen is visible to everyone. Is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the format I have told you, and I have explained you the format with the examples, with these examples. So I have told you that MOV, these are called as opcodes, or in a user language, it is called as a mnemonics. And when these mnemonics are converted into ones and zeros in the machine language, then they are called as opcode. Okay. So you can say opcode, or you can say mnemonics. Okay, you can say mnemonics. Then R5 comma hash 05H. Okay, so here R5 and 05H, these are the operands. This way operation हो रहा है. R5 is called as a destination operand. This is called as a source operand, because यहाँ से data R5 में जा रहा है. Okay, and then after semicolon we are writing down the comment. Okay, so these are the few instructions which are there written to explain you about what is a label, what is the opcode, what is the operand, and what is the comment. One important thing about the label is that it will indirectly give you the address कि मुझे कहाँ पे जाना है. Because if you see in this instruction, it is a DJNZ R5 comma loop. जब तक R5 0 नहीं होता है, तब तक मुझे loop पे जाना है, और ये loop का address already is there in this. Okay, so I do not want to remember the address of this particular instruction, add a comma R0, क्योंकि वो address I have given by the label, and the name of the label is loop. Okay, so indirectly the label gives you the address of the instruction which is mentioned in the instruction कि जहाँ पे मुझे जाना है. Okay, so that is the way in which the label has to be given in the given instruction. Okay, so when we will see different examples, you will encounter with different labels, and how these labels are called in the given program. Okay, with this understanding, let me ask you, do you have any questions till this particular format, so that I can proceed further? Do you have any questions? Any doubt, any query you have related with this particular format? Yes or no?
No, sir.
Okay. Now we will proceed further. Now, before we start with the addressing modes, what do you mean by addressing modes, and what are the different addressing modes? I have given you what is a format. After that format, now we should also know what is a data type which is used in the assembly language. Okay, so data type, we will see this. I want everyone to pay attention. This is a data type which is important for 8051 programming. Okay, addressing modes हम इसके बाद लेने वाले, but try to understand what is the data types. Now data types here, it means that you, first of all, it is very clear that your 8051 microcontroller supports your 8-bit of data. Okay, it supports your 8-bit of data. That means it is 8-bit of data can be signed or it can be unsigned. Okay, you understand? Your 8-bit of data can be signed or unsigned. Now whenever you say signed or unsigned, you have to be very, very careful that whenever you talk about the signed data or whenever you talk about the unsigned data, you have to be very careful, because in the signed data, in the signed data, for example, if I'm dealing with 8-bit, so you have the 8-bit as B0, B1, B2, dot dot dot, at the last you have B7. Okay, starting from B0. Now these bits, 8-bit, because your microcontroller 8051 is of 8-bit microcontroller, it will handle 8-bit of data. Now under the unsigned, you have to understand that all these 8 bits will represent the magnitude, okay, all these 8 bits will represent the magnitude. So that means if I am starting with all zeros, then it will start from your 00H. It will start from 00H and it will end at FFH. That means all one. Okay. So your B0 to B7, all zeros, that is 00H, and all ones, that is FFH. In decimal, this is in hexadecimal. So that means your 00H is nothing but, in decimal it is 00, and your FFH in decimal it is 255. Okay. Now whenever you talk about the unsigned, that means you can go from 00 to 255 in decimal, or else in other way you can say you can go from 00H to FFH. Now what is the case in the signed? Now this is the case for unsigned. Now what is the case for signed? Now we have to understand the case for signed. In the case of signed, your B7 bit will indicate the sign, of that particular number, and from B0 to B6 will indicate the magnitude. Okay. Now this is a case for sign. Now whenever you talk about the sign number, B7 will give you the indication that whether that particular number is a positive number or negative number. Okay, and the remaining bits, that is B0 to B6 will give you actually the magnitude. For example, if your B7, I'm talking about sign number. If your B7 bit is 0, that means that number is positive. Okay, and if your B7 bit is 1, that means your number is negative. So can I say, in this B0 to B7, your MSB bit will give you the sign of that number, whether that number is positive or negative, that is B7 or MSB bit, and the rest of the bits will give you the magnitude, that is from B0 to B6. Will give you the magnitude. Okay, will give you the magnitude. Now this is the case for sign. Now if I have asked you to give me the range, now as far as unsigned numbers are concerned, I have given you the range, that is 00H to FFH. That is in decimal, it is 00 to 255 in decimal. Now in the same case for signed, if I ask you to give me the range, then the numbers would be, you can see on the screen now. The numbers would be what? The numbers would be from -128 to +127, to +127. Okay, now these are the signed numbers. With MSB bit as 0, that means the number is positive. So your positive number, that is, it will end at +127. If you remember the number line, in the number line it is 0. Left to the number line is a negative number. Right to the number line, all the numbers are positive. If my B7 is 0, that means it is a positive number. Okay, so what is the last range? What is the last range? And when my B7 is 1, that is a negative number, what is my last range? So the range is from +127 as far as positive numbers are concerned, and for the negative numbers it is -128. So this is a range. Okay, so you have to know this is the data types. Okay, data types used in 8051. I should know the range, so I can conclude that as far as signed numbers are concerned, the range is from -128 to 127, and for unsigned numbers, the range is from 00 to 255, that is in decimal, or 00H to FFH. Okay, now come to this particular slide which I am showing on the screen. Now here in decimal it is showing as 128. Now in hexadecimal it is nothing but 80. It is 80. Okay, you can try with this. Now my negative, now it is -128. That means my MSB is 1. Okay, and 128 indicates your B7 bit is that is minus. So B7 bit is 1, and the other remaining bits will be 0. All zeros. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this represents 8, and this represents 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, this represents 0. So can you see here 80? Okay. So what I mean to say that your ranges and the decimal representation and the corresponding hexadecimal number and the corresponding binary number, जो मैंने अभी आपको बनाया यहाँ पे लिखा था, the same thing can you see here? Okay, same thing is for -127. It is 81 representation. The binary is represented in this manner. -1 is represented by FF. You can try this as a homework. The binary representation is all ones. Then for 0 it is 00, all zeros. As you go and go to the positive numbers, then for +1 it is 01, and the representation is in this format. And for +127, the representation is 7F, and it is shown in this manner. So it is plus. So can you see the MSB bit? The MSB bit is 0, because I have showed you for positive numbers your B7 is 0. Okay. So this +127 in hexadecimal is 7F, and -127 in hexadecimal is 81H. Okay, so that is the difference you have to understand, and you should know the range. Okay, you should know the range. So before we start with the addressing modes, this is the important topic which has to be covered, that what is the data types used in 8051 microcontroller. Any question regarding this? Any questions you have?
No, sir.
Okay, so I think this is very clear. What is unsigned number and what are signed numbers? Signed numbers, all the bits represent the magnitude, and in unsigned number, your MSB will give you the indication whether the number is positive or negative. When your MSB is 0, the number is positive. When your MSB is 1, the number is negative. And the rest of the numbers, that is from B0 to B6, will give you the magnitude. Okay, and that is how it is represented in decimal, which is shown in the front of your on your screen, and the hexadecimal representation and the binary representation. Okay, now with this we will proceed further. Now we will see the addressing modes. Okay, we will start with the addressing modes now. I want everyone to write down the heading as addressing modes. I think already you have written. So I want you to write down few sentences about this. Then we will see what are the different addressing modes. So there are total 10 addressing modes. Some of the books will show you 7 to 8 addressing modes, but it's better to understand all the addressing modes. And if the question is asked in the exam, you can you can elaborate all the 10 addressing modes, and you can explain 4 to 5 with an example. Okay, depending upon for how many marks the question is asked. Okay, you have to write down all the 10 addressing modes, and you can explain any 4 of them with an example. Okay, so please write down what do you mean by addressing modes. What do you mean by addressing modes? You can see on the screen also. A microcontroller provides, I want you to write down, a microcontroller provides for the convenience of the programmer. Rest of the thing is not seen on the screen, so better you write it down. A microcontroller provides for the convenience of the programmer various methods for accessing data. Various methods for accessing data. Continue. For accessing data needed in the execution of an instruction. Various methods for accessing data needed in the execution of an instruction. Needed in the execution of an instruction. Full stop. The various methods of accessing data are called addressing modes. The various methods of accessing data are called addressing modes. ये sentence को underline करो. The various methods of accessing data are called addressing modes. Full stop. 8051 addressing modes can be classified into the following categories, and I want you to write down this. So this is the first, this is second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th. Write down all the addressing modes. Then we will see one by one, and these are very simple. We will try to understand with an example. So आपने क्या लिखा? The 8051 addressing modes can be classified into the following categories. Start number 1 as immediate addressing, number 2 as register addressing, number 3 as direct addressing, number 4 is indirect addressing, number 5 is relative addressing, 6th one is absolute addressing, 7th is long addressing, 8th is indexed addressing, 9th one is bit inherent addressing, and the last one, that is 10th, it is bit direct addressing. So we should know first what are the addressing modes, then only we'll be able to understand the different instructions used in 8051. Without addressing modes, we cannot directly jump to the instruction sets. Okay, because addressing modes, as you have understood now, because this is the way in the or the what are the different methods of accessing data, that is called as addressing modes. हम किस अलग अलग तरीके से डेटा को एड्रेस कर सकते हैं, या हम किस अलग अलग तरीके से डेटा को एक्सेस कर सकते हैं, दैट इज अ मीन. ओके, हमारा जो भी डेटा है जिसपे हमको ऑपरेशन करना है, वो डेटा को हम किस अलग अलग तरीके से एक्सेस कर सकते हैं, उसको कहा जाता है एड्रेसिंग मोड्स. ओके, and there are 10 different ways in which you can access your data. So we will see one by one. I hope you have written. Shall we proceed? Shall we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we will see it one by one these addressing modes. So I want everyone to pay attention. जब मैं बोलूंगा लिखने के लिए तभी लिखो, otherwise do not write. Okay, you can write down now. Write down the first one, immediate addressing. Write down the first one, immediate addressing. Write down the first one, immediate addressing. Please write down. All of you write down. Immediate addressing means, I want everyone to write down, please. Immediate addressing means that the data is provided, as a part of the instruction. Is provided as a part of the instruction. Is provided as a part of the instruction. Bracket में लिखो, which immediately follows the instruction of code. Which immediately follows the instruction of code. Which immediately follows the instruction of code. आपने क्या लिखा? Now I'm explaining you the first one, that is immediate addressing. आपने क्या लिखा? Immediate addressing means that the data is provided as part of the instruction. Bracket में आपने लिखा which immediately follows the instruction of code. Okay. Now this thing I will explain you with an example and try to understand the concept now. Now whenever you talk about, for example, if I'm writing down move a comma hash 99D. If I'm writing down the instruction move a comma hash 99D. Now this is the example of immediate addressing. आपने पहले ही सीखा है कि addressing modes में we are going to understand what are the different ways in which we can access the data. Now here my data is 99, which is in decimal. D stands for decimal. अगर वहाँ पे H रहता था तो it is hexadecimal. Okay, so 99 is my decimal number, and as it is an instruction that is move, so what is going to move where? Now that can be shown in this manner, that you have an accumulator which is of 8-bit. You know this is of 8-bit. You know this is of 8-bit. This is my accumulator. Okay, which is of 8-bit. Now the data which will be moved into accumulator is number 99D. So decimal number 99 will be moved into this accumulator. That is the meaning of this instruction, move a comma hash 99D. Now why it is called as immediate? You have to underline the word immediate. Immediate का मतलब इसलिए होता है because the data which I have to access is provided in the instruction itself. The data which I have to access is provided in the instruction in the instruction itself. Okay, and which follows, आपने ब्रैकेट में क्या लिखा था? Which follows the instruction of code. आपका यहाँ पे instruction of code क्या है? Move. This is the instruction of code. लेकिन मैं आपको और एक बात बताने वाला हूँ. I want everyone to pay attention. This you will not see in any of the book. This thing you will not see in any of the book. Your operational code is move. लेकिन to be more specific, आपका operational code है move A. Move A. Okay, this will not be explained in any of the book, but I am giving you a proper explanation that operation is actually move. लेकिन जब हम ऑपरेशनल कोड की बात करते हैं, आपका जो मशीन लैंग्वेज में बाइनरीज 1 and 0 जो मूव का जो सेव होता है, वो सिर्फ मूव का सेव नहीं होता है, वो मूव ए का सेव होता है. मूव ए का सेव होता है. ओके, सो operational code which is saved in the instruction or in the ROM, which is in the form of ones and zeros, is not only for move, it is for move A. और operational code के बाद तुरंत क्या है? आपका डेटा है. आपका डेटा है. So your 99D will be moved into the accumulator. Okay, so move a comma hash 99d का मतलब होता है कि 99 decimal number will be moved into the accumulator. So that is the meaning of this. So this is the immediate addressing example. This is the immediate addressing example. Okay, now यहाँ पे और एक important बात है, how do you identify whether it is an immediate addressing or not? Only when you see hash, whenever you see hash, you can just see, you can just tell that this is an immediate address. Okay, so always remember, hash indicates the number is a data. The number is a data. अगर hash नहीं है, if there is no hash, what does it mean? We will see in the remaining addressing mode. Is it clear to everyone? The example for immediate addressing.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Shall we proceed further? Now the next comes register addressing. Please write down register addressing. We will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in this order. The next one is register addressing. In the register addressing, you can write down. Please write down. In this addressing mode, the registers are used. The registers are used to hold the data. The registers are used to hold the data which has to be manipulated. The registers are used to hold the data which has to be manipulated. Full stop. Write down further. R0 to R7. ऐसे लिखो, R0 to R7. R0 to R7 are used as a active registers. Are used as an active registers. Are used as a registers. Full stop. As only one bank is active at a time, as only one bank is active at a time, as one bank is active at a time, R0 to R7 of the corresponding bank can be used. R0 to R7 of the corresponding bank can be used. R0 to R7 of the corresponding bank can be used. Tell me, how many banks are there? Register bank?
4.
4. Yes. So every bank, it contains R0 to R7, or at a time only one bank will be active, and by default it is bank 0. जब तक हम स्पेसिफाई नहीं करते हैं तब तक हम बाय डिफॉल्ट बैंक 0 ही यूज करते हैं. तो बैंक 0 का जो R0 से R7 है वही हम एक्टिव रजिस्टर बोल के यूज करते हैं. ओके, नाउ लेट मी गिव एन एग्जांपल फॉर दिस एड्रेसिंग मोड, दैट इज द रजिस्टर एड्रेसिंग मोड. द एग्जांपल इज मूव A comma R5. The example is move A comma R5. A comma R5. So if I have to show this, it will be shown in this manner. This is my accumulator, which is of 8 bit. What is going to move? The register R5 में जो है, that is going to move into the accumulator. So this is a register addressing. I want everyone to underline register. जो डेटा मुझे एक्सेस करना है, जो डेटा मुझे एक्सेस करना है वो मेरे R5 में है, जो डेटा मुझे एक्सेस करना है वो R5 में है। वो डेटा मुझे मूव करना है एक्यूमुलेटर में, क्या इंस्ट्रक्शन यूज करोगे? मूव A, R5, मूव A, R5। ओके, सो दिस इज द सिंपल वन। ये क्या करेगा? R5, द कंटेंट ऑफ R5 विल बी कॉपीड टू accumulator. The content of R5 will be moved into the accumulator. The content of R5 will be moved into the accumulator. Okay. Now to be more specific, मैं move नहीं बोलूंगा, I will say copied. यानी R5 में जो भी suppose exercise is there, that will be copied. That will be copied. R5 में क्या रहने वाला है? R5 में भी XXX रहने वाला है और A में भी XXX रहने वाला है। This is I am giving an example. तो मूव का मतलब ये होता है कि आई एम जस्ट गोइंग टू कॉपी, R5 में भी कंटेंट वही रहने वाला है। दिस इज नॉट कट एंड पेस्ट, दिस इज कॉपी एंड पेस्ट। ओके, दिस इज कॉपी एंड पेस्ट। इज इट क्लियर? शैल वी प्रोसीड फर्दर?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, एक काम करो, ये रजिस्टर एड्रेसिंग में यू जस्ट राइट डाउन द नोट, राइट डाउन द नोट। It is a single byte instruction. This is a single byte instruction. This is a single byte instruction. ये सिंगल बाइट को अंडरलाइन करो। This is a single byte instruction. You have to just underline this. I will explain you single byte, 2 byte instruction. Okay. Now remember, whenever you are encountering different instructions, every instruction will consume some byte. The instruction may consume 1 byte, the instruction may consume 2 byte, the instruction may consume 3 byte. Okay, now it depends upon what we will see afterwards. Okay, सिर्फ आपको एक याद रखना है, आपने इसमें नोट क्या लिखा है कि इट इज अ सिंगल बाइट इंस्ट्रक्शन। सिंगल बाइट के नीचे और 0 बाइट तो नहीं हो सकता है। So can I say it is a minimum byte, the minimum byte is required to store this move A, R5. Okay, move A, R5 is a single byte instruction. Okay, so that is an advantage because to store a single byte instruction आपको storage कम लगता है as you compare with the 2 byte instruction, as you compare with the 2 byte instruction. Okay, so this is the advantage. Okay, so please underline that single byte instruction को आपने underline किए. Okay, we will proceed further now. Write down the next one, direct addressing. Write down the next one, direct addressing. हम थर्ड वाला ले रहे हैं, direct addressing. Please underline direct. Please underline direct. Direct addressing. Okay. Now in the direct addressing, write down, in the direct addressing, write down this mode allows us, please write down, this mode allows us to access internal data memory. Allows us to access internal data memory, comma, including SFR, special function register, including special function register, including SFR, including SFR. Full stop. In this mode, data is obtained directly from the memory. In this mode, data is obtained directly from the memory. Directly from the memory. Directly from the memory. So to give an example, the example is, please write down, move A, 47H. A comma 47H, A comma 47H, and to give you the graphical representation of this instruction, 47H. Now here 47H is the memory address of the internal RAM. So I can show in this manner that this is my accumulator. In my accumulator, I am moving what? I am moving what? See here now. And the memory address of this is 47H. This is 46H. This is 48H. Can you see the difference now? Now, here 47H, please see there is no hash. There is no hash. There is no hash. If there is no hash, that means 47H is the memory address of the internal RAM. ये जो आपको दिख रहा है ये क्या है? This is your internal RAM. This is your internal RAM. तो इंटरनल रैम में जो ये 47 एड्रेस है, ये 47 एड्रेस में जो कुछ स्टोर किया है, जो कुछ मैंने स्टोर किया है, सपोज यहाँ पे x है, that will be copied in accumulator, as simple as it is. That will be copied into the accumulator. Okay, so without hash, 47H indicates the memory address of the internal RAM. With the hash, 47H is the data itself. Is the data itself. Is the data itself. Is it fine? Any questions regarding this? Any questions you have regarding this? Direct addressing with an example?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. So this is the important one. You have underlined direct. So direct बोले तो 47H is the memory address जिसमें जो data है that will be copied into the accumulator. That is the meaning of this. That is the meaning of this. Okay. Write down the next one.
Sir,
Indirect. हाँ.
sir, this
Yes,
is
go
like cut paste.
No, this is also copy and paste. It is going to just copy the data from the memory address 47H to the accumulator.
Okay, sir.
Okay, हाँ. So this is an example of a direct addressing. We will proceed further. Now we will see the next one, that is indirect addressing. I think indirect addressing, I have a slide with me. Yes, it is there. Yes, for indirect addressing, write down the heading, underline the word indirect. Underline the word indirect and please write down. In this mode, or ऐसा लिखो, this mode uses a register to hold the actual address. This mode uses a register to hold the actual address, that will be used in data movement. That will be used in the data movement. That will be used in the data movement. नेक्स्ट वाला सेंटेंस इंपॉर्टेंट है. फुल स्टॉप देके आगे लिखो. रजिस्टर्स आर जीरो कॉमा R1 and DPTR tier. So आपने क्या लिखा है? R0, R1, DPTR are the only registers that can be used as data pointers. डेटा पॉइंटर को अंडरलाइन करो. Full stop. Indirect addressing cannot be used to refer to SFR registers. Indirect addressing cannot be used to refer to SFR registers. Cannot be used to refer to SFR registers. Full stop. Both R0 and R1 can hold 8-bit address. Both R0 and R1 can hold 8-bit address, and DPTR can hold 16-bit address. And DPTR can hold 16-bit address. 16-bit address. Now this is very important. Now this is the indirect addressing. Now you can see on the screen there is a example given. There is an example given. See the example now. The example is this: move a comma at the rate of R0. Here at the rate is important. At the rate means R0 में जो भी कुछ है, R0 में जो भी कुछ है, that will give you the address of the internal RAM. That will give you the address of internal RAM. और वो एड्रेस में जो डेटा है, that will be moved into the accumulator. For example, R0 में क्या है? See here, R0 में है 54H. R0 में है 54H. तो ये जो 54 है, that is not the data which I have to transfer, but 54H is the address. Can you see here? Is the address of the internal RAM. और वो internal RAM 54H address में जो भी मेरा data है, that data will be copied into the accumulator. Will be copied into the accumulator. Okay. So it is a long process. Okay. How we can identify the indirect addressing? Only with the help of at the rate. At the rate बताता है कि 54 is not the data, but it indicates the address. तो R0 में जो भी कुछ है, वो बताता है address of the internal RAM. और वो address में मेरा जो data है XXX, that has to be moved into the accumulator. Okay. So in this case, I can use R0, you can use R1, or you can use DPTR. Can you see at the bottom? DPTR. So it is move X space A comma at the rate of DPTR. Can any one of you tell me what is X? What is the significance of X? Already I have explained you this.
Sir,
External RAM.
Yes, it is an external memory. It is external RAM. बराबर है? मुझे कोई तो भी बताओ, एक्सटर्नल जो रैम है वो कितने साइज का मैं एक्सेस कर सकता हूँ? Tell me the size of external RAM which I can access.
64.
Yes, 64
KB.
yeah, 64 KB. मुझे बात बताओ, 64 KB. मुझे एक बात यार, 64 KB is the right answer. मुझे अभी मेरा नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है, to access my 64 KB, how many address lines are required? How many address are required?
16.
Yes, it is 60. Yes. अभी मुझे बात बताओ. Yes, you are right. 60. मुझे बात बताओ, R0 मेरा 8 बिट का है, R1 मेरा 8 बिट का है. तो एक्सटर्नल मेमोरी को एक्सेस करने के लिए मैं R0 भी नहीं यूज कर सकता हूँ, R1 भी नहीं कर सकता हूँ. तो मेरे पास ऑप्शन क्या है? मेरे पास ऑप्शन है DPTR, और आपको पता है DPTR 16 बिट का है. So that is as simple as it. Yes. So I can say, using this DPTR, I can access 64 kilobyte of external RAM. I can access 64 kilobyte of external RAM. Is it clear to everyone? Is it clear to everyone? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
हाँ. तो आपने जो अंडरलाइन किया था ना डेटा पॉइंटर, तो डेटा पॉइंटर का मतलब होता है मेरा डेटा जहाँ पे छुपा है उसको पॉइंट करने वाला रजिस्टर. जहाँ पे मेरा डेटा छुपा है उसको पॉइंट करने वाला रजिस्टर is your R0, R1 and DPTR. To access my 8 bit of to access my internal RAM, I can use R0 and R1 because they are of 8 bits. and to access my external RAM, I can use my DPTR. But provided I cannot write down, see on your screen, I cannot write down move a comma at the rate of DPTR. I cannot write down this. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. There has to be move X. There has to be move X. Okay. So for internal RAM, you have R0, R1, and to access my external RAM, you should use move X, not move. Okay, and you should use DPTR register, which is of 16 bit. I hope this is clear to everyone. I hope this is clear to everyone. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Even if it's 16 bit, it can still be used, ना sir?
फिर से बोलो क्या बोल रहे हैं?
Even if DPTR is 16 bit, it can still be used for internal memory.
Yes, because you have DPL or you can use DPH. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Because DPL plus DPH will give you DPTR. So DPTR is of 16. We can have DPL, which is of lower data pointer, which is of 8 bit, and higher data pointer, which is of also 8 bit. So you can use, if you don't want to use 16, you can use 8 bit. लेकिन हम इंटरनल रैम के लिए हम DPL DPH नहीं यूज करते, हम डायरेक्टली R0 और R1 यूज करते. ठीक है? That is a good question. That is a good question. So for that, this is a explanation that DPL and DPH both are rated of bits. But then also to access my internal RAM, I am not using my DPL or DPH. I am only using R0 and R1. And the instruction is move a comma at the rate of R0. Here, please remember, at the rate is important. At the rate is important. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Write down the next one. Indirect हो गया ना. अभी relative addressing. Write down the next one. Relative addressing. Write down the next one. Relative addressing. I think इसके लिए भी मेरे पास I have a slide. So we are going to see the relative. Okay, you can write down. Okay, write down for relative addressing. Please write down. Relative addressing is used only with conditional jump instruction. Relative addressing is used only with conditional jump instruction. Full stop. The relative address को underline करना है. The relative address often referred to as an offset, और offset को भी underline करना है. The relative address often referred to as an offset is an 8-bit signed number. Is an 8-bit signed number. is an 8-bit signed number, which is automatically added to the PC. Second में लिखो program counter, which is automatically added to the PC program counter. Bracket close. To make the address of the next instruction. To make the address of the next instruction.
To make that.
To make the address of the next instruction. To make the address of the next instruction. Full stop. The 8-bit signed offset value. The 8-bit signed offset value gives an address range of the 8-bit signed offset value gives an address range of plus 127 to minus 128 locations. Plus 127 to minus 128 locations. Full stop. The
Sir,
jump.
can you repeat that?
The 8-bit signed offset value gives an address range of the 8-bit signed offset value gives an address range of 127 plus 127 to minus 128 plus 127 to minus 128 locations. आगे में लिखो, the jump destination is usually specified. The jump destination is usually specified using a label, and the assembler calculates the jump offset accordingly. The jump destination is usually specified using a label, and the assembler calculates the jump offset accordingly.
The last point of the
The jump destination is usually specified. The jump destination is usually specified using a label. Label को underline करो. Using a label, and the assembler calculates the jump offset accordingly. And the assembler calculates the jump offset accordingly. Now in this, we are going to see an example now. Please write down this example. The example is SJMP X. SJMP X. Now here X is the label. SJMP X is the instruction. Okay, this is an ultimate example for relative addressing. This is an ultimate example of a relative addressing. Now what is this SJMP is doing here now? Okay, SJMP, S stands for short jump. S stands for short jump. Okay, now this thing I can explain you with a figure. You can draw along with me. Now you have this code memory. This is my code memory. This is my code memory, and these are the locations. These are the locations. These are the locations. Okay. Now this location, सबसे ऊपर वाला location is 1 F F F H. उसके बाद में आएगा 2 0 0 0 H. उसके बाद आएगा 2001H. Please draw along with me. This is 2002H. This is 2003H. Then 2004H. Then 2005H. Then 2006H. So we are going to see this. Okay. Now, suppose at 2000 there is a data which is 80, and at now this is a code memory. Please remember, this is a code memory. So 80 is not a data. It is an opcode or machine code. कोड मेमोरी में हमारा क्या रहता है? इंस्ट्रक्शंस रहता है. इंस्ट्रक्शन किस फॉर्मेट में स्टोर होता है? हमारा इंस्ट्रक्शन वंस एंड जीरोस में स्टोर होता है. ओके, जिसको हम ऑपरेशनल कोड बोलते हैं. तो कोड मेमोरी में मैं डेटा नहीं बोलूंगा, मैं बोलूंगा कोड मेमोरी में मेरा इंस्ट्रक्शन विच इज इन द फॉर्म ऑफ वंस एंड जीरोस, दैट इज अ मशीन कोड. ओके, so here 80 is stored in 2000H and 04 is stored in 2001H. Now you know that your PC is set to the next instruction address. आपका जो PC है, you know program counter, your program counter will always hold the address of the next instruction which has to be executed. Okay, now if your PC is ये इंस्ट्रक्शन एग्जीक्यूट हुआ, बाद में ये एग्जीक्यूट हुआ, नेक्स्ट क्या एग्जीक्यूट होने वाला है? जो इंस्ट्रक्शन है विच इज एट द एड्रेस ऑफ 2002. आपके पीसी में अभी क्या रहेगा? 2002. So what I mean to say that you have executed the instruction present at 2000H, then you have executed the instruction present at 2001H. बाद में आपके पहले आपके पीसी में क्या रहेगा? पहले पीसी में रहेगा 2000, वो मैंने एग्जीक्यूट कर लिया. बाद में पीसी में रहेगा 2001, वो मैंने एग्जीक्यूट कर लिया. अब क्या है? मेरे पीसी में है 2002, मेरे पीसी में है 2002. और अब 2002 में क्या है? 2002 में मेरा sjump x का जो ऑपकोड है वो स्टोर है, ये 2002 में. तो यहाँ पे ऑपकोड मुझे पता नहीं, लेकिन मैं यहाँ पे लिखता हूँ sjmpx. ये मेरा स्टोर है, ये मेरा स्टोर है 2002 में, ये मेरा स्टोर है 2002 में. ओके, नाउ द टारगेट एड्रेस इज द सम ऑफ द पीसी प्लस द रिलेटिव ऑफसेट नीडेड टू रीच x. ये जो आपका x है ना, दैट इज योर लेबल, दैट इज योर लेबल. नाउ फॉर एग्जांपल, नाउ लेबल तो आप लिखते हो, लेकिन आपने लास्ट में क्या लिखा था? आपने लिखा था कि द जंप डेस्टिनेशन इज यूजुअली स्पेसिफाइड यूजिंग अ लेबल एंड द असेंबलर कैलकुलेट्स द जंप ऑफसेट अकॉर्डिंगली. तो आपका जो 8051 है वो खुद कैलकुलेट करता है कि उसको कहाँ पे जंप करना है, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द वैल्यू ऑफ x. तो x हमको याद नहीं रखने का, x हमको लेबल देने का है. द नेम ऑफ द लेबल हैज टू बी गिवन and it is the duty of 8051 to calculate the offset. Okay, for example, अगर मेरा x is suppose my x is equals to 4, my x is equals to 4, then sjump x मैं जब करूंगा at 2002 मेमोरी लोकेशन पे, जब आपका ये इंस्ट्रक्शन आएगा sjmp x, वो टाइम पे क्या होगा? आपका pc will be added with the value of x. Value of x is how much? 4. पीसी का वैल्यू कितना है? 2002. So 2002 plus 4 gives you how much? 2006. So what is going to happen? your PC will jump to 2006. तो पहले जो पीसी में 2002 था, अब पीसी में हो जाएगा, अब मेरे पीसी में हो जाएगा 2006. Okay, so this is called as a relative addressing. This is called as relative addressing. आप लेबल, मैंने आपको पहले बताया था, you are defining the label and this label will be given somewhere in the instruction. वो लेबल का जो ऑफसेट का एड्रेस कैलकुलेशन जो होता है वो इंटरनली होता है, वो 8051 इंटरनली करता है. आपको याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं है, आपको बताना है कि आपको कहाँ पे जंप करना है और वो लेबल का नाम आपको इंस्ट्रक्शन में स्पेसिफाई करना है. तो सपोज मैंने लेबल का नाम दिया है x, और सपोज मेरा कैलकुलेशन ऐसा हो कि x मेरा 4 है, ये इंटरनली हो रहा है, मैं एग्जांपल दे रहा हूँ आपको। तो 4 जब होता है तो आपका जो पीसी 2002 पे था, नेक्स्ट इंस्ट्रक्शन आपका यहाँ पे एग्जीक्यूट होना चाहिए था 2003 पे, लेकिन आपके 2002 पे SJMP X आया, तो आपके शॉर्ट जंप करना है, आपको शॉर्ट जंप करना है। तो आपका पीसी कहाँ पे जंप करेगा अभी, आपके पीसी पे क्या आएगा, आपके पीसी पे आएगा 2006। और 2006 कैसे आया, क्योंकि आपका x की वैल्यू 4 है, तो पीसी का जो करंट एड्रेस है 2002, उसमें 4 आप जब ऐड करोगे you will get 2006. So you will jump from this location, you will jump to at the address of 2006. I hope you have understood this now. So this is called as relative addressing. Relative addressing में यही इंपॉर्टेंट होता है कि आपके relative addressing में हमेशा ऑफसेट मेंशन किया जाता है, और आपका ऑफसेट इज इन द फॉर्म ऑफ लेबल, okay, and your label, and it is the offset is of how much, it is a signed number, and you know I can go from where to where, I can go from plus 127 to minus 128. तो ये रेंज में मैं जंप कर सकता हूँ, दैट इज द मीन, मैं ये रेंज में जंप कर सकता हूँ कहीं पे भी, ओके, मैं ये रेंज में कहीं पे भी जंप कर सकता हूँ by using the instruction SJMP followed by label. Okay, here my label is X for example, and I have given with an example, suppose my X is 4, ये इंटरनली कैलकुलेशन होता है कि आपको कहाँ पे जाना है, एंड डिपेंडिंग अपॉन यू आर गोइंग टू जंप। ये मैं जो जंप कर रहा हूँ 2002 से 2006 में, तो मैं कहाँ तक जंप कर सकता हूँ, मेरा रेंज कहाँ है, मेरा रेंज है प्लस 127 से माइनस 128, दिस इज द रेंज। और ये रेंज क्यों है, बिकॉज ऑफ ऑफसेट, और ऑफसेट इज व्हाट, ऑफसेट इज ऑफ 8 बिट साइन नंबर, 8 बिट साइन नंबर। और जो मैंने अभी बताया था साइन नंबर और अनसाइन नंबर के बारे में, तो साइन नंबर के बारे में मैंने बताया था रेंज इज प्लस 127 टू 128, so I can jump within this range, that is it. Is it clear to everyone? Is it clear to everyone, relative addressing?
Yes, sir.
Any question,
sir.
any doubt
Yes,
you have?
sir.
So I think we can stop for today. In the next lecture, I'll be taking the remaining addressing modes. So whatever the addressing modes I have explained you today, I want you to revise, okay, properly. And if you have any questions, any doubt, you can come up with the questions in the next lecture. Okay. And जो भी मैंने अभी जो
Sir,
पढ़ाया, हाँ बोलो बोलो।
In code memory, then we can't have more than more than 127 and less than minus 128. Sir.
नो, हाँ, इसका मतलब यही है कि मैं जब भी एस जंप यूज करूंगा तो मुझे वो याद रखना है कि मेरा जो लेबल रहेगा ना एक्स वाला, वो लेबल जो एक्स मेरा जो लेबल है, और जो मैं इंस्ट्रक्शन में अगली बार मेरे इंस्ट्रक्शन में कहीं ना कहीं भी तो मैं लेबल लिखने वाला हूँ ना, यानी मैं ऐसा कहीं ना कहीं तो भी लिखूंगा ना। वेट, मैं आगे चल के कहीं ना कहीं इंस्ट्रक्शन में ऐसा लिखने वाला हूँ ना, एक्स कोलन और आगे में शायद मेरा कुछ इंस्ट्रक्शन रहेगा। तो ये एक्स कोलन जो रहेगा मेरा, ये जो एक्स कोलन, ये जो मेरा जिस एड्रेस लोकेशन पे रहेगा, ये मेरा जिस एड्रेस लोकेशन पे रहेगा, वो एड्रेस लोकेशन ये रेंज के अंदर रहना चाहिए, ये रेंज के अंदर रहना चाहिए। इज इट क्लियर? क्योंकि मैंने पहले ही बताया था लेबल में एस जंप लेबल तो करने वाला हूँ, लेकिन वो लेबल भी मुझे कहीं ना कहीं तो लिखना पड़ेगा ना प्रोग्राम में। तो वो प्रोग्राम में मैं कैसे लिखूंगा, एक्स कोलन और कुछ तो भी इंस्ट्रक्शन लिखूंगा। तो ये जो पूरा जो इंस्ट्रक्शन दिख रहा है ना आपको, ये मेरा कोई तो भी मेमोरी एड्रेस पे रहेगा, कोड मेमोरी एड्रेस पे। तो ये कोड मेमोरी एड्रेस का जो रेंज है वो 127 टू माइनस 128 के रेंज में रहना चाहिए, दैट इज द मीनिंग।
Okay, sir.
ठीक है, सो दैट इज द मीनिंग। इसलिए फिर से एक बार लेबल का रिवाइज करना, सो विल बी दैट विल बी मोर क्लियर। यस, एनी क्वेश्चंस यू हैव? ओके, इफ यू डोंट हैव क्वेश्चंस देन आई थिंक अटेंडेंस हो गया क्या?
Yes, sir.
हो गया ना सर? योगेश इज देयर?
Yes, sir, I am there.
अच्छा ठीक है, तो अटेंडेंस सबका हो गया ना?
हाँ सर, हो गया।
Okay, so everyone can leave. Thank you. If you have questions, you'll be there, otherwise you can leave.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.